Well, I said I wasn't necessarily going to go back to the drawing board, but like I actually forgot about a certain card that was spoiled, and I think got overlooked because of a lot of other more powerful looking cards. But the card that I'm interested in trying out is Subtlety, and I love this name because Subtlety is definitely the right word to describe this card. This card is not in your face overpowered. It doesn't just nuke whatever creature they try to play. It puts it on the top or bottom, so it's kind of balanced in that the opponent has some control, and yeah, I mean it's not busted or anything. However, I think it is a very subtly powerful card, which is why I do think that the name makes a lot of sense. Why are we interested in this in our particular deck, though? Isn't this more of a control card? Well, not necessarily. I mean, maybe it is more of a control card in a way, but sometimes we want to control the board. And specifically why I'm interested in this is because I basically got bodied by an affinity deck, and I just remember thinking, like, man, this is our old nemesis, like, what do we do? So, here's the reality. Affinity's probably going to continue to be a poor matchup, almost no way you slice it. I'm not even sure if these new versions are necessarily hosed as hard by, no, they probably are. I think Stony Silence probably shuts them down as bad as ever. And this ain't no Stony Silence, but this is also broader than Stony Silence because this can come in against basically any aggressive deck, and it's a speed bump. And the hope is that maybe with Svyelun and other cards, maybe this makes up for, maybe Svyelun can help make up for the card disadvantage, and, maybe, maybe this speed bump actually allows us just to weather the storm in the early game, and, I mean, hey, I'll take any. In mono blue, there aren't a lot of options we have as far as cards that can, like, I think about Storming Entity also. We can also speed bump that card. What's that card called? Fairy Dragon, Sprite Dragon. There's a lot of good cards we can hit with this. It's card disadvantage, yes, but the idea is that we play this in matchups where we really need to slow them down. And also, the payoff, too, is that if we do get to 4 mana, which we actually do a good chunk of the time, very, very, very often, we do get a kind of 2-for-1, too. So sometimes it also itself kind of helps to make up the card disadvantage. If we use it, like, in the early game, but then we draw another one, kind of in the mid-game, and then it's a 3/3 flying, plus it puts a creature on top. So, hey, look, I'm not saying this card's going to set the world ablaze or anything, but it is a nice tempo card, and let's see how this goes. Now, there is one other card I'm going to try out, and I am fully expecting that this card is probably going to disappoint as in comparison to Castle Vantress, because I think Castle definitely stacks up in a lot of good ways, favorably to this card. It has a higher floor because a lot of times it won't even come into play tapped, whereas this will always come into play tapped. And in a way, Castle also has a higher ceiling because you don't actually have to sacrifice the land, so you can keep scrying over and over again. And sometimes even with this, you're still going to, like, draw 2 lands off of this. And so anyway, if I'm talking so much smack about this, why am I playing this? Well, I don't know. I mean, conceptually, if I'm playing 8 cards that require me to pitch something, I guess I just kind of want to try a card that can maybe help refill my hand a little bit. It's probably too cute. And another card that I was thinking of playing was Glasspool Mimic. Because the thing is, this card can pitch to Force Negation or Subtlety. Man, the thing is, I played with this card a lot when it came out, and the biggest issue I had was just that the majority of the time, since this deck is so mana hungry, I just play it out, and when I play it out, it just sits around as an inferior land. You know what I mean? The thing I liked about Castle Vantress, and Fairy Conclave, and even Memorial Genius to a lesser extent, but the thing that these cards, I think, compare, believe it or not, even Memorial Genius, I think, compares very favorably to Glasspool Mimic, because we're going to be playing this out almost every single time we see this. I don't think there's going to be almost any time, if this were Glasspool Mimic, there's almost going to be never, like basically never, ever any time that we're going to actually hold on to this to play it as a creature. It's only basically the rare times where we're like completely flooded, but we could just mulligan those hands. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the good thing about this, like I said, is it does pitch. So there is, hey, if you guys want to try this, and I might try it too sometime, but I have tried this already a lot. I haven't tried this with Subtlety in the mix. I will grant you that. But my biggest issue is trust me, play this for yourself and just ask yourself how many times does this just come into play as a land. And I think the answer is going to be over 75% of the time. And if that's the case, you know, that's basically just lost value to. Now Memoir to Genius, though, I'm also going to have to ask myself, how many times did I just never activate this? And I think the answer is going to be a lot. That being said, like I said, I want to try it out, and unlike Glasspool Mimic, at least this card will always threaten to gain more card advantage if the game goes long enough. You know, even while I'm just making my normal land drops, which is basically what I want to do in this deck, which is very mana hungry. I mean, I can see playing this, like, see, I think the thing about this card in Merfolk is I think this kind of replaces a spell. This doesn't replace a land. But I could be mistaken about this, and I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's see how this goes. All right. Hello, everyone, again. Yeah, so for this week's shout-out, yeah, special thanks to the patrons, and of course to all my watchers. Everybody who supports the channel. But yeah, we got 2 new patrons since the last shout out. Thank you so much, Gabriel W. and Rodrigio. I'm not sure if it's Rodrigo or Rodrigio. Tomazi. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon. And then a special shout out to the patrons, you know, the old patrons, you know, of course, but this has all been relatively recent, but so thank you, everybody. Thank you, Frederick LeMay, Pavilas Tomasauskis, excuse me, Alexis, Jeremy Elder, Brett, Michael Patton, Tyler Smith, Jonas Sandiger, SWDJP, Alexi Sher Bako, Brendan Hopgood, Trent Crofts, Jeff Clark, Adam Boyd, Cody Bryam, and Alex Wilson. Yeah, thank you so much for all of your support, everyone, and also thanks for thanks for the suggestions from a number of my patrons. I appreciate them. You know, I may not always be able to implement all of them. I may not be able to implement all of them right away. Sometimes I do want to implement them, but I can't implement them right away. Sometimes I may not be able to implement them for whatever reason, but they're always appreciated. You know, like somebody suggested maybe uploading the videos all as one video, and originally I'm like, man, that's going to be a lot of extra work, but it turns out I don't think it's that much, and I think it's a little extra something that you know, that could be, well, I mean, it's something that differentiates the Patreon a little bit from the main channel. So hey, you know, thanks for that suggestion, and yeah, so you know, as is typical with my shoutouts, I'm also going to go over a little bit what to expect this week. So yeah, so of course, so basically, so first of all, what we have coming up this week, because this was posted early access last week, so this is coming up this week. We got Mono Blue Subtly Genius Merfolk, where I try out Memorial to Genius and Subtlety in Merfolk. Definitely encourage you all to you know to try. You know, I mean, I don't know. Subtlety is not the cheapest card to try out, but I definitely encourage you all to watch and see if you might gain some valuable insights. You know, I try all the crazy cards, so you don't have to. I think there's definitely something to be learned from this. I'm not going to spoil how it turns out, but I'm going to say Subtlety is not bad. I will definitely say that. And then there's a Mono White Stoneblade. I continue my quest to. This is technically, you know, technically Mono White Death and Taxes, but I think when I get to the early access content in a second, I think you'll see why I tend to be calling the big league Stoneblade. Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of just the continuation of my Stoneblade journey. I got this coming up this week, but so for my early access, first I've got the mono red Obosh Hammer. Okay, and I am pleased to announce that this is going to be the first recorded league. Well, actually, okay, I recorded one previous league. It just didn't turn out well at all. This is going to be my first recorded league with the new microphone that I'm going to be uploading. So that's a milestone. The only thing, though, that I unfortunately have to disclose up front is that there's more to using this new microphone than apparently just you know, like, how could I say? There's more to using the mic than just the mic. So there is going to be a little bit of background noise. It's not nearly as bad as with the old mic. But I have figured out how to solve that. Since this video, I am going to have some, I think, some noise. Again, it's going to be nowhere near as bad as the old mic, but there's still going to be some less than ideal audio as I'm figuring out how to work this the best. For at least some number of videos after I have the new mic, I think we can all agree, though, that it's still a lot better than the old microphone. But I have since figured out what the problem is, and to demonstrate that, I think I'm going to actually have another bonus match right here in the deck tech. It's not going to be with well, if it's the MHayashi Gaming channel, it's not going to be with the taxes content, and if it's I guess if it's the Magic Match channel, it's not going to be with the Merfolk content. But I'm going to have a little bonus Obosh Hammer match just to show me using the microphone with I think the best quality, and that's going to be the quality, hopefully, you know, hopefully going forward. But just full disclosure, some of the most recent videos, and unfortunately I didn't catch on to this right away, so I do have a few videos for both Merfolk and Obosh Hammer recorded where my audio could be better for sure. What it is I think one thing is sometimes I didn't have the microphone close enough to my mouth as I do now, and since this is a dynamic microphone, I think the further I have my mouth away from the microphone, the more it picks up the background noise. That's what I think, at least. And second of all, for some reason, I had my fan that I have here in my room at the highest setting in some of these. If I have it on the lowest setting, it doesn't seem to pick it up. If it has it on the highest setting, it picks it up. So I apologize for that, but it's not that bad, I don't think. In any case, like I said, I think we can all agree. For one thing, there isn't this huge audio blast in the beginning. I mean, there's a little audio blast, but isn't a huge audio blast like in the beginning. And as my little bonus match that I'm going to append here at the end of this shout out video is going to show, I think I've even corrected any audio blast issues. So yeah, bottom line is I've got the new mono red Obosh Hammer content with the new mic coming up, and the audio quality is just going to get better from here on out. I hope you all like it. Yeah, this is also going to be skipping ahead a bit in my league, so it's going to be much closer to my recent builds. It's going to be, we're going to start seeing where I'm experimenting, cutting down to only 4 1-drops instead of 8. So I basically just have Ragavan in the mix for this version. I'm not going to say, though, that I'm ultimately settling on that, because you know, I'm still in the process of trying to figure out how to make the deck as good as I can. But I will say that this is something I experimented with a bit, and that's what we're going to see. I will, for all of those who want to see the remaining leagues between, I think League 41 was where we left off, and League 51, where we're going to be heading to the week after this following week, or this week if you want to sign up to my Patreon for early access, so you can see League 51 right away. Either way, we're going to be skipping ahead either a week or 2 weeks, depending on well, I guess either right now or you know, or I guess a week actually, rather. But we're going to be skipping ahead. But I do intend to still upload the other videos, including a number of trophies that I got before I recorded this League 51. My plan as of right now is I'm going to be uploading my older matches on the MHayashi Gaming channel. So I think what's going to end up happening is my Magic Mat channel is probably going to end up being a more curated a more curated Magic type of channel with hopefully better quality overall. At least that's the hope. And my MHayashi gaming channel is, I think, going to be more, I guess you could say, bonus kind of content. At least for now. I mean, you never know how things develop. But you know, so the rest of my leagues. I mean, sometimes I record so much stuff that that some of my old leagues, they become a little outdated, like a new set release or something. I mean, geez, I recorded so much stuff even from previous sets. I mean, even from previous leagues. I've got stuff from, like, I think the I got stuff from the some before Strixhaven even was released, still recorded, that I've never gone up. I might even, if it comes to it, I might even be able to upload that stuff on MHayashi Gaming now, so you guys can get a glimpse of some previous formats. Point is I'm a little more willing, I think, to experiment on the MHayashi Gaming channel, because it doesn't bother me as much if I lose subscribers or something on that channel. The whole point of that other channel is going to be, like, just experimenting, I think. You know, anything gaming related, including Magic. Well, anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point is I want to start putting up new content with the new mic, and we got Obosh Red, Obosh Hammer, with the new mic next week, and then we've also got Mono White Stoneblade League 4, and of course, as the thumbnail would indicate, we are trying out Ephemerate in the Taxus shell, and I think you all will. Hopefully, if you're interested at all in Taxus, I think you'll like to see how Ephemerate performs. I think there's definitely a lot to be. There's a lot of value potentially there in you know, and maybe how that turns out. You know, how I don't want to spoil it, but I will say this much: I definitely really like playing Ephemerate. We don't have the new mic for this one, so, you know, just full disclosure, probably most of the stuff for a while now on my MHayashi Gaming channel is going to be old mic content, and I'm gonna try to make an effort to have more new mic content coming up on my Magic Mat channel. But yeah, for those who are interested in following my quest to become a you know, Death and Taxus / Stoneblade Master, we got Ephemerate Stoneblade, or actually I call it Blinkblade in my deck binder. You know, I could call it Blinkblade on YouTube too, maybe. But yeah, hope you all enjoy. If you're interested at all in seeing some of this new content, and seeing some of the early access content, you know, consider becoming a patron. Your support is really appreciated, since I'm getting so much new support, and since it's so inspiring. That's one of the main reasons I went ahead and got the new microphone. Hope you all enjoy, and hope you enjoy the bonus Obosh match with hopefully my much better mastery of the microphone, to show you that I do think I have it. I do think I've got pretty good content that you can all look forward to, with good audio quality coming up. Just be patient. Remember, I'm still learning how to work the new microphone too, and I think we're going to get there to a little more professional quality. Don't worry. Anyway, take care, everybody. Again, special thanks to all my patrons, and yeah, have a great week. Really hope you enjoy the stuff that I got coming up. Take care. Okay, so you know what? I think this might be a bonus match that I might upload, just to show the quality of the new mic in an actual game, maybe. I'm not sure. In any case, I'm going to record this because, well, why not, I guess, right? All right, anyway, let's get to it. All right, yeah, let's get to it. So 2-man, you know, make of those what you will. I think we can do better than this. Yeah, and I think this is indeed better than that. Man, I like the idea of Pyrite Spellbomb, but I just think that the rest of this hand is just much closer to where we want to be. Maybe I always should have been playing Elixir of Immortality as like a 2-of maybe, instead of the Radiant Fountains. Playing Blaststone in the main frees up frees up sideboard space for similar type of effects, and it's a totally main deckable sideboard hate type of card. We know that because of how much experimentation we did with colorless lands. Okay. Blah. Blah. They gonna let us take our turn? Okay. Alrighty. Alright, well, gotta play this now, otherwise it's gonna come into play tap permanently. And thankfully we got another untapped land waiting in the wings. The question, of course... Okay, this looks like Grixis Shadow. Grixis Shadow. I'm calling it Grixis Shadow until further notice. Well, it's Grixis something. Street Wraith heavily signifies shadow. Whoops. Alright, there we go. Whoopsie daisy. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to jam Moon, because if this resolves, I think we win. If it doesn't, okay, good. We have the Blast Zone. Now, hopefully their ability to lose life is circumscribed. We were a little bit worried about Stubby D, but they concede already. So, man, if only this said target player gains 5 life, because then that could really be an excellent removal spell against Death Shadow. Alas. Alright. I guess this sideboarding is going to have to be a mini deck tech too, I guess, because, you know, it's a good opportunity to just see the whole deck list. Yeah, we're trying Dragon Race Channeler again. Once again, that means basically Bone Crusher basically has to get cut. There's a number of different cuts we could make, but you know, at least where I'm at right now, I'm kind of thinking Bone Crusher maybe is the most cuttable. It's just so hard to like not justify running Dragon Race Channeler when we've got like 12 lands that could potentially send themselves to the grave. And you know, yes, like this basically has to be dealt with, so it can send itself to the grave either by blocking if you really need it, or by like attacking, and a lot of times they have to deal with it, or it just spirals out of control a lot of times for them. Plus like the 8 instants, 8 sorceries, you know, 4 artifacts, 4 enchantments, 16 creatures, 4 of which send themselves to the graveyard, you know, automatically. For me, it's just hard to justify not running Dragon Race Channeler. Such a good card. I mean, Bone Crusher Giant's a good card too, so it's obviously a bit of a identity crisis of sorts to have to make the choice there, but you know, there you go. In any case, in this matchup, what are we gonna do? What are we even playing again? Oh yeah, Shadow. So okay, Pillage for sure. We'll take 2 of those. Ensnaring Bridge, we'll take 2 of these. I think Relic will take 4 of those. I don't think we need Pyrite Spellbomb. Could be totally wrong. Fury might be unnecessary too, but you know what it is actually, it's the creatures, Dragon Race Channeler and Ragavan. They've got so much removal, we just don't need these. Yeah, that's how we do it. That's how I recommend doing it. Yeah, they just kill your creatures on sight, but we win the long game, so yeah, we win the long game, so I recommend going like, basically we turn into a control deck, as you all may have noticed how I approach the Shadow matchup. If we can just keep their shadows from getting out of control, if we can land a Blood Moon, both work towards a lock with maybe our 2 Pillages too now from the sideboard, but like work towards a lock plus Plus, even if we're not locking them out, at least we're locking them out of gaining more life. Alright, we'll keep. Yeah, it's just basically, as long as we can keep their shadows from juking us, then a lot of times, like, we could just spiral the card advantage out of control eventually, and we alpha strike. I mean, there might come a day where Death Shadow, they try to go ultra grind themselves, and maybe they even play grindier, overall grindier package than us. One that's also not overly crippled by Blood Moon, or can deal with Blood Moon easily, and not kind of discard, because eventually we will draw into Blood Moon. Yeah, I don't know, but as of right now, we definitely win the long game, so we just turn into a control deck, basically. Okay. Alright, now, I like the idea of Den of the Bugbear coming into play, but I think, and actually in retrospect, I probably should have just played Den, because what if they got Ragavan? Be nice to hold up Spikefield. Okay, good, they don't. But that was actually, in retrospect, kind of a risk we didn't need to expose ourselves to. Might as well play Den now, because it's going to come into play tapped if we play it at any point later. Alrighty. Well. I think somebody has a Scourge of the Skycleaves. Well, who do you think you are, mister? Okay. Yeah, I guess that somebody is them. I could try to play Ensnaring Bridge, but unfortunately, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I'll go down to 5 cards. But if they have like Kolaghan's Command, then that's just that. That being said, if they have Tumor Battle Rage, they basically just win. No, actually, but they have to reduce their life total. Yeah, if they like reduce their life total to 7, and they Tumor Battle Rage, then this will get past like a token blocker. It'll deal 5 damage to me from first strike, bringing me down to 9. And since they're at 7, if we go down to 9, that'll plus it by 5, needless to say. So then it'll go to 11. Yeah, and then that's lethal. So I think Ensnaring Bridge may be our jazz. Well, let's try it anyway, because they have to have exactly land and Kolaghan's Command in their hand. I mean, we could also like double Fury, but it's a little bit too much card disadvantage, I think, for my taste. I'm a little bit worried about that. And plus here, we could just pump up the Blast Zone if they give us enough time. And I guess, well, you know, okay, if this is a match that goes up to show the mic quality, I apologize that obviously couldn't be a little more dynamic, but well, you know, at least we struck fear in the heart of the shadow player. We cast a shadow on the shadow. I don't know. Honestly, my bet is this player's probably just trying to jam some quick games for some proof of concept or something, and is not like terribly invested. Maybe they're not even sure they want to play shadow. So you know, I don't know how much we can read into this. This is always the issue with 2-mans, but hey, I mean, what can I say? A win's a win. We get to get a few more play points. So I don't know. But hey, proof of concept for us too. Ensnaring Bridge definitely can do well. Blast Zone was obviously, if this was a more serious game, Blast Zone would have played Mop Up Duty, hopefully, and yeah, and you know, Fury had the ability to kill this thing, whereas Bone Crusher didn't. So basically, all of our cards were conspiring together to have a pretty good game against Scourge. So anyway, there's what else to say, but this has been the test game. So yeah.
we'll see. All right, hope you all liked it. Take care.